Hello there, people. You know I love you, right? Every one of you that sees this. Even if you hate me, I still love you. Well, let's begin. Yabba dabba doo. Wanna dabble? Let's go right now. If you don't know, let it glow. I'ma show you how. Let me get this started with a little dabberoni. A little dabberoo, because life can be very frustrating. I've been going through a lot of things with my insurance. I've been going through a lot of things personally with my family, with my friends, with all the people that I love. It's been crazy times. This year has been, woo, a hell of a thing so far. So I'm just gonna take this dab. Ooh, that flame looks so cool on video. I can dig it. Boo, boo, boo. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on. I really want to make a video in length about poison pills. What's a poison pill? Let's define it indirectly so you can understand where I'm coming from on a lot of things. There's poison pills like Medicare for all. I'll find a way to disagree with you on every single thing that you're fighting for because I've looked into everything that you're fighting for. And most of it is bullshit, I'm sorry to say. I am on Medicare. Be someone who's disabled and on Medicare, I could tell you, you don't want that for all. And I know the first thing that people will say when it comes to a poison pill. Well, you don't understand. No, I get it. Look. I understand what you want. I want something very similar. But the way that you get things and the way that you figure things out, it's important to have concessions. It's important to have conversations, find where you can agree, and find where you don't agree. I mean, it's really important when you're trying to do something as a group and unify that you keep all these things in mind and all these factors of collaboration and ultimately not imposing control over other people's lives, because that's a big deal. This is supposed to be a country that stands for freedom. Now, Medicare for all is a poison pill because of what you want. And what you want is Medicare for all that is paid for by the taxes that you pay normally. I mean, if this is my understanding of it, and I think I have a pretty good understanding of it because hell, I used to fight for it, you know. But having it, knowing what I know now, it really changes things. It changes my mind about it because what we should have is not the Medicare for all that you're pushing for. It's the Medicare for all that we've seen work in other countries. You see, what is being called for is a system where everyone has the same insurance, and I understand the beauty of that sort of thing. But when it comes right down to it, when everybody has the same thing and is forced to make the same choice, then everyone gets treated the same. And when it comes to medicine, that's not a good thing because we all need to be seen, we all need treatment, but there's just so many factors. I mean, for instance, me with Medicare, it took me 2 months just to get my medicine correct and an MRI scheduled. So I suffered for a long time because insurance is a horrible thing. I really don't know how I can state this in a better way other than your poison pill is that which must be accepted by all, or they are your enemy. You see, like, uh, healthcare is the best example because it's just every other system in the world has some sort of component that subsidizes and works in conjunction with the insurance um, for people that have different needs and different wants. And that's important. I mean, people really like having freedom of choice. You have to understand that. Freedom of choice. You want to take all choice away. The poison pills of having no ID laws. I told someone that where I live, you have to show your ID to vote. And they said, oh, that must be illegal. No, it's just the state that I live in. You live in a state where you don't have to do that, and that's fine. But it doesn't have to be demonized just because other people show their damn ID. You want to go to college for free? You know what? I think that the whole college system is a ridiculous joke and it's not even worth anybody attending these days. It'll give you a little more structure in your life, but ultimately, what you get out of college is what you put into it. And if you don't put into it, if you don't have value in it, then it's not worth as much to you. And if it's not worth as much to you, then it's not worth as much to the people who are looking at you and seeing what you've achieved. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm trying here. I'm disabled for what could be the rest of my life. It's been more than a decade now. But when it came to my college loan, it's paid in full. It wasn't really that big. I'd been chipping away at it for years, and there came times when I was just in financial hardship, missed hardship filings, things like that. Ultimately, they garnished my disability check, even if I was never going to work again. Because when they issued out my disability, it was for a 3-year instead of a 5-year. If you get a 5-year, you can cancel your loan. Well, I really knew that I couldn't work again, so it wasn't a huge concern for me. But when they started garnishing my check, there was nothing that could be done. Nothing. I'm not a wealthy person. It wasn't a large amount that I was getting, but they still will garnish you if you don't pay your student loan. And you know what I think? I think you should just, hey, maybe pay your loan. I think that college shouldn't cost so much. I think that they're inflating the amount people used to be able to go work a summer job and pay for their schooling for a year. You can't do that now. It's a ridiculous notion, ridiculous thought with how much things are starting to cost. Uh, and as it costs more, its value becomes less for some reason. I mean, look at housing. Y- People's houses aren't even worth that much when you look at them. And you're paying a lot for hardly anything. And the market is bubbling, big bubble. So everyone's paying more for their houses. And it's just getting worse. More poison pills. Uh, it almost seems like an agenda for the Democrats and Republicans, uh, while we're at it, just to have everyone be homeless with the type of laws that they want to impose on us and the things that they want us to go through and the causes that this side is fighting for and that side is fighting for. It's all just getting ridiculous. People want free rent. I mean, how the hell were you all duped into thinking that it's such a brilliant idea to not pay your landlord when throughout most of the country, a landlord isn't a very wealthy person? I know people that hardly had anything and then they bought a house just so that they could flip it, rent it out. Well, they were renting a house until they could buy a house and flip that. Not every landlord is a corporation, but somehow this poison pill has come down, and you all want to put it on the landlord to provide the housing. But the first thing that should be thought about is not a rent strike. It should be a rent subsidy that pays for your rent so your landlord doesn't have to kick you out into the streets. I mean, look, more poison pills that come from the left, and the more I look at them, the more poisonous they get. It seems to me that wanting to impose a large increase in minimum wage is not necessarily brilliant, because what you're going to have is an economy where the employer is going to be putting more into each employee. They are going to vet that employee more, expect more out of them right up front, and have them do more than the employees that they would have paid less. I come from the blue collar industry. That's how I kind of got injured, holding sheetrock on top of your head and lifting up 300-pound things until you break everything in your back. And so back is all cracked. But the thing is, when you're going through blue collar, there's like grunts, there's people who just clean, there's people who just do the baseboard, there's people that are learning. And if you're going to pay them this much when you bring them on, then the person that's been working there for all those years that finally got up to, $15 or $16 an hour, instantly they're going to need a pay increase in order for them to mentally deal with it. I know that you're all like, oh, that's selfish. No, it's not. It's just, it's the way it is. It's the economy. I don't think that a 40-year-old should be stuck in a job that pays minimum wage. I think that's awful. I think that we should have been raising minimum wage this whole time, but you're going to drop it like this. One thing is going to happen from this poisonous pill. And that is that corporations are going to have all of the hiring power, and small businesses are just going to fizzle, dry up, drop away, be no more. Look at these poisonous pills that we're taking. It's a constant thing. They're all connected. They all lead into each other and bleed into each other. And everyone loves them. They all want these poisonous pills to happen. You all want a movement for a people's party. I'm not into that because all I've seen parties do is divide. I want people to gather around legislation. I want people to gather around ideas, around candidates instead of the party that the candidate's from. Like, oh, hey, I'm a Democrat, so you should vote for me. What? Is that it? Is that your qualification? Oh, I'm a Republican. Come and vote for me. You know what's up with that. Oh, yeah, I do. And neither of you have done anything for us for the past 40 years. And I'm only saying that because, I'm 42. That's what I know. So, let me make sure I got it covered on poisonous pills. We got Medicare for all. That has when you have to look at everything like this, okay? There is a positive aspect of it. What can the negative aspect of it be? If you don't look to see, then you won't have a truly objective viewpoint. Your viewpoint is subjective purely because you only see the good. Why do these other people not agree with you on something? Why do people disagree with you on minimum wage? Why do people disagree with you on the rent strike? Why do people disagree with you on Antifa taking over cities and burning down courthouses? Why do people disagree with you on that? Huh? I disagree with you, Antifa. I disagree with you, idiots on the right that roll around with your Confederate flags and stuff and all that. But you know what? People who roll around with those Confederate flags, most of the time they just are idiots that don't know how to express themselves, and they're not really all that racist. You never know. There's other poisonous pills, such as your interests. What interests you is not what interests everyone else. What is on your agenda is not what everyone else can even understand. Some people don't have the mind to understand this or that. Some people have a mind to understand things that you can't possibly grasp, but you can't just get mad at people and then do all this stuff that's causing more division and then talk about unity. It's hypocritical. I think that unity is really holding each other's feet to the fire about things, but at the same time, that act of love cannot be overdone or you're going to burn the feet. Hold their feet to the fire. Fine. But is your intention to cause blisters? Or is your intention to cause action? Because if they can't walk when you're done burning their feet, the poisonous pill. Look, I know that some people are going to see this video and obviously they're going to disagree with every single thing that I say. And that's fine. I want to continue the discussion because if you can't see it from my point of view, don't you wonder why I have the point of view that I have? If I used to fight with every minute of my life for the same things that you do, and I know how hard it is to fight for Medicare. These systems all need to be overhauled. You want to defund the police? No. Because the second that you get something stolen, you call the police. But if you defund the police, you take away their resources. So what happens as you finish with the defunding of the police, your grandma gets robbed and your sister gets raped and nothing really happens and crime starts accelerating because people don't really have to worry about police anymore because they're powerless. I feel like, why, in a just society, we need the state to be able to make these decisions, fund the police, whatever. Because what we really need to do is take the federal level of what's happening with law enforcement and change it, because it's qualified immunity that makes cops think that they are able to do things with impunity in your community and then go home to theirs and not even have to think about it. It's just part of the job for them because, they have qualified immunity. I think that every cop should work in the community that they live in and not work in communities they don't live in. I think there should be laws about that, but those laws should also be something that is decided by the damn city. Okay? It's just I don't know what to tell everyone anymore that wants to fight for these things that are so poisonous. And I mean, it's all getting so ridiculous and contrived. The spin that you have to do to make these ideas continue to work, but they don't. And what am I? I mean, am I right? Am I left? Does it sound like I'm right or left? If you think that I'm right, then maybe I'm right of you. If you think that I'm left, then maybe I'm left of you. But the thing is that I don't want to be what you are. I want to be me. I want to be myself. I want people to look at, oh, hey, that guy, he does this and he does that and he's himself. He doesn't sound like that person. He doesn't make music like that person. I just want to be me. I'm getting so sick and tired of people that just want to fall in to this group think. And it's the evil. It's the poison pill. The more that you divide yourself from another side or see them as a team and you have a different team, that's not unity. And I mean, if you want to fix the country, without unity, you have nothing. Nothing. And the progressive movement is just, it's really gone. And I think that being a forward-thinking person is better than being a progressive, because at this point, Nancy Pelosi is considered by so many people in the media sphere and on the left and on the right that fighting it is futile. Fighting to say, ooh, well, I like this progressive that and the left this. I do too, but I also like the right. Now, when I listen to people, I don't even see that. And then I look at what other people say. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that this person that I was listening to was considered insane and crazy by everyone. This person, you consider them to be alt right, even if I never even really heard them say anything relating to the alt right. Oh, they're QAnon. Well, I've never heard them do anything that's QAnon. Hmm. The poisonous pills of life are in the trough with the slop, and the sheep and the pigs are all feeding and grunting and baying. And it's tiresome watching the herd mentality that is what our entire nation has become on every single level, from, Dr. Seuss to genocides to you name it. And everything gets censored so quick. I know I need to make commentary on things, but it's just that I'm not a funny person. And if you're watching this, I hope that I am at least talking about stuff that is interesting, or stuff that you maybe infuriates you, because it's good to know that other people think differently than you. And I still recommend that you go and watch Jimmy Dore and Alex Jones and Chris Tucker and Tucker Carlson and fucking everybody. Just watch it all, okay? But don't focus on one person or personality that's, driving this movement or that movement, because that's where we all start dividing on things. When you just look to one person or group having heroes is ridiculous. I don't got no heroes, man. I'm a human being. You breathe the same air as me. You're not my hero. You could be my elder. You could be a child to me. You could be a peer. That is it. The poisonous pill of even having to name your, put your pronouns down. I mean, let's face it, that's the reason why Gina Carano was canceled, because of the beep bop boop. And this is the type of poisonous pills that we keep on planting, and they're just going to grow poisonous weeds that are going to kill us. And I don't know what I can do to get through to you if I'm infuriating you, that I disagree with every single thing that you've been fighting for. But I need you to know that it wasn't that long ago that I was doing the same thing as you. I've gone through a lot in my life. I've been homeless. I've been disabled. I've gone crazy. I've lost people important to me. I've lost myself, found myself, lost myself again. I mean, I've been through some things, and I think that what I say should have just a modicum of worth for you, but think about why you're so hateful and why these things divide. I mean, this could be applied to so many other things. And maybe you think I'm talking about you, but if you think that, I'm probably not. I don't know what else to say. So I think I'm just going to end it here. But even if you hate me, I love you. Really. We are all family. And the only way anything in this world is going to get fixed is if we figure out how to unite and stop being so divided. I love you, and I mean it. And I hope that one day you feel the same way. Peace, fam.